Alright. Hello everyone and welcome to Liberty After Work. My name is Art and tonight we're going to continue with the Truth. The game called Truth. Hey, just a name. It's been a while. Thank you for dropping in once again. How are you doing? News? Having a good day? Good to see you, by the way. Just name 4A2. Hey, Nico Bellic. What is it for spell? This is a game about a couple of completely randomly selected characters, and those characters you need to ask them some questions. Yeah, I started to speak Dutch all of a sudden. You need to make a choice of whoever is going to be the winner of $1 million, and we've got some very strange and awesome characters. So we have, hold on, what is this? Yeah, so we have a couple of questions. We need to ask 5 more questions to those 4 characters. So last time we managed to kick out 2 of them. There was 2 of them, right? And Zachary is here as well. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. I was supposed to live stream Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but I figured it's a bit too late, so I'm just gonna try to finish up this one as well, because, well, we should be able to do it tonight. Great. Alright, so we got 5 questions. How about we're going to ask this lady what her biggest regret is? This is a Vim game. Yes, it is. But I somehow found it in my gallery.
What is
like,
your biggest regret?
in my library for all the
Working,
games.
normal jobs and living
And it
a
was just
normal
there.
life as long as I did. I was always miserable when I was working. Even when I was off the clock, I was miserable. So I got out of the rat race a few years ago, and I've never been happier.
I mean, of course, if you don't need to work, then well, like, that's kind of a waste of a question. All right, let's see what kind of questions do we have. Yeah, the trophies are also very easy. So basically, all you need to do is just go for 6 rounds and then have all of the 6 characters to be a winner, and basically the platinum is yours. It's pretty fun. I mean, well, fun. If you're just like kind of like lazy, and then yeah, you don't have much time, so you can play this for once. Let's see. What's your favorite? No, that's a stupid question. Platinum, yeah. I mean, I will get it eventually, but I'm not really like going after the platinum at this point. I just want to know what the game is all about. What's your happiest memory? Hold on. Did we ask actually the last time about that? Oh, what's your most unusual talent? We gotta ask her that. What was her name again?
What is your most unusual talent?
I'm an expert at falconry.
Falconry.
I have a small
Ask the
collection
people guy.
of extremely well-trained birds of prey. I find owls to be particularly useful.
Okay, now that is impressive. Not gonna lie. Training birds is actually pretty difficult. I mean, those big ravens, right? Those birds, they're actually very smart and they remember people, their faces. So yeah. Let's see. Which one do you want, Wim? This guy or the other one? Pretty sure you was talking previously in the chat about this one, right? What were you like as a child? How about this question?
What were you like as a child?
I was just like every other kid.
Yeah, she's
Played with toys. I watched cartoons. I mean, what else would you expect me to say to that?
okay, that guy is definitely hiding something. He's lying. Just the name. Which one were you talking about? The first one or the second one? I mean, all those characters are kind of like tedious, to be honest. Let's see, what else do we have? What kind of questions we have? Also, the questions that we already asked, they have been like left out, so that's pretty handy. What advice would you give your younger self? All right.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't marry Annie, my ex-wife. God, I doubt my younger self would listen to me because she's still smoking hot. But yeah, that's the advice I'd give.
Female
you
dude.
know.
I mean,
We
which
were
one?
high school sweethearts.
Is the first one or the
I
second
thought
one?
it was gonna be great.
Both of them are the same.
But boy, was I wrong. Oh, she's a nightmare.
Hold on.
Now I'm stuck paying alimony.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned doing the first part all three. Hold on, wait. How many characters were there left? I'm pretty sure we managed to kick out 3 of them. Are we doing the second no, the third round all over again? No, I don't know. Let's see. Bye. What's your most unusual talent?
What's your most unusual talent?
How about this?
I'd say my most unusual talent is that I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes. And, you know, it's not a world record or anything, but it's pretty good. You know, I'll break it out sometimes, maybe if I want to impress a date, and then I'll say, now you try.
How
Actually,
are you
that has
impressing
had
a
the
date to the
opposite
Rubik's
effect,
Cube?
Because they
What the hell?
thought that I was rubbing it in their face that I was so good at it. And then
I will
tried
be
to tell
impressed
them
if his
that
date is not gonna die
wasn't
from
trying to
boredom
brag.
at that point.
I'm good at making things awkward too. That's a pretty
Yeah,
good talent
that's
of mine as
we
well.
already
But yeah,
are
I'll
aware
stick
of
with
that.
the Rubik's Cube.
Okay, yeah. um, what's your biggest regret?
What is your biggest regret?
My biggest regret. Okay.
Think about it.
Years ago, I used to work at a video store. Back in the day and age where they actually had video stores, where you didn't have everything at your fingertips streaming. And I worked with this girl named Rebecca, and we got along so good. We were jokey, we had banter, but the thing I was oblivious to at the time was that she was flirting with me. Like, she was into me. And the crazy thing is, I had a crush on her, but I was in the dark to her feelings about me, but now, years later, I can think back. I'm like, oh yeah, she was totally flirting with me.
Morons, none of you took any of the first steps.
How did I miss that? Nothing happened, and that is a major regret.
I'm pretty sure everyone has like those
I might
things happen to them
take
at
that
some
one
point
to
in
my
life.
grave.
Like years later, you're like, oh, so that happened. That's what's going on. But yeah, sometimes it's for the best as well, because later on you see like how people turn out to be, and it's kind of like, yeah, you pretty much knew what was going on, and yeah, you didn't do it accidentally, you did it on purpose, because, well, you were having none of that. So yeah, it's perhaps for the best. Let's see. If you found a wallet, how would you return it?
If you found a wallet, would you return it?
Okay. So if I found the wallet the question of whether or not I'd return it depends. Now, if it was a one percenter, a wealthy individual, and that wallet was filled with money, I might take the money and return the wallet anonymously.
How much money are you talking about here?
If it was seemingly like just a regular person,
I mean,
regular
obviously it
working
doesn't fit
stiff,
thousands
then I
upon
think I'd
thousands of in cash in one wallet, so
but if it was a
probably it
Gucci
wouldn't be even
wallet
that much.
with gold around the sides, black card, the whole nine,
Yeah, so the everything.
I might have to take a little for myself.
Guilty. What's your biggest fear? Interesting.
What's your biggest fear?
Okay, my biggest fear, and this might be uncommon, but I am afraid of things that can't really happen, or things that are like an optical illusion but aren't possible in real life.
Okay, yeah,
So,
I
for
understand
example,
that.
M.C. Escher paintings, like a staircase that starts nowhere and leads to nowhere, and walls and architecture that are not possible in real life, or opening a door and a room is upside down, or just objects that move through space and do not abide by the laws of physics. Because I'm a logical person, I'm trying to wrap my head
That sure is
around
cool.
these things, and because I can't get a toehold in logic into how that
Who's
setup
Escher?
is occurring, I lose my bearings. And that is my biggest fear.
Oh, the artist. Oh, yeah. He mentioned the paintings of one of the artists. But I kind of don't understand like the way that he describes his fear, because I kind of have sort of the same fear in a way. It's like, for example, like you see some, like let's say some a demon, like, right? But in a video game, like it's not real. But if you're going to encounter that very same demon or something like that is completely out of reality that we are used to in real life, then like, oh shit, we're not supposed to be here. Like something is going down, and yeah, you just turn around and you just disappear. But then again, it's just like, for one part, it's like a xenophobia. It's like fear of something that is unknown to you. And a lot of people actually have that with strangers, like with a lot of people that are like completely dressed to something that they're not used to seeing. Like, for example, a specific jacket, or let's say that there's like all of a sudden 20 people appearing in the street wearing the same shoes. For example, like Zachariah, like all of them are wearing Jordan 1s. And then, yeah, you're like, something is going on here that is not right. But that's just an example. But yeah, that's just my point. You get it. Sure, Google him. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Gonna take a screenshot here real quick, so that you'll remember his name. I'm pretty sure Escher is a famous artist. But yeah, the way that he describes the artworks of like staircases leading to nowhere, that sounds interesting. But somebody having fear of that is kind of like strange. For me personally, if it would be a staircase that would be leading to nowhere, but yeah, for example, like it will disappear into like nothingness, that would be like more intriguing. Like you would go there and you would find out where the staircase is leading to. Then of course, if there's like strange surroundings, like a staircase leading into space, and at some point it will give you the illusion that you're gonna be falling off the staircase, then yeah, that's something else. Not true, not only Jordan once. I know. That was just an example. You know him if you see him. Yeah, probably will. But Escher, the name doesn't ring any bells as of now. All right, next question. Let's see. What's your most embarrassing memory? And this is the last question that we will be able to ask this character for this round.
What is your most embarrassing memory?
Oh, yeah. I got an embarrassing memory. My most
Let's hear it.
embarrassing memory was, okay, so I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and we were at a
That's not
neighbor's
embarrassing.
in
Everyone does
Harris's.
something
They were the
embarrassing when they're like
only
4 or 5
house
years
on the
old.
block that had a pool. So we'd go over there for summer afternoons, pool parties. So I was in the
Right.
pool this one time with my dad, and I told him I had to pee, and he told me, just go in the pool. That's what everyone does. So again, I was really young. This was like probably right before kindergarten, and I peed in the pool, and it was fine. So that became a normal thing. I would go, if I was in the pool, I would go.
You
I would pee in
disgusting.
the pool. Well, one summer, again, I was very young, maybe kindergarten. There was a big pool party. It was a birthday. Everyone was there from my
Oh,
class, the neighbors, and I had to go. I wasn't in the pool. I was standing right outside the pool, and I figured, oh, if I have to go, just go in the pool. And I stood there and peed into the pool. I quickly learned that that was wrong.
Oh man.
Everyone was horrified. They cleared out the pool. Party was almost over. It was like I ruined the birthday. And that stigma stuck with me. Let's see. that
Okay,
was
this guy
kindergarten,
just went.
almost until high school. Yeah, I was the pool peer. Not my proudest moment.
Great. So he just went from awkward to like disgusting and awkward at the same time. Zachariah says Jordan 3 and 4 are my favorite ones. Great. Pool party, yeah, definitely invite this guy. He'll just stand up straight and just pee in your pool. Actually, you know what I heard? They've got, like in the public swimming pools, they've got like this new chemical that whenever there's like chlor and, for example, like salt and urine mixed together, and with chlor, it will the special what's it called? There was a specific name for it, but yeah, let's just call it this specific substance. So, for example, they will just place it like on the sides of the pool, and wherever somebody will just pee in the pool, then this specific substance will just turn from chlor. It will like turn like bright pink, and then everyone will know who was the one who peed in the pool. I'm pretty sure there's like some videos on it on the internet. But yeah, it's basically like so they're circulating chlor to disinfect all the water in the pool, right? And then they're adding on the sides of the pool like this specific substance, and it will just with the chlor and the flow of the pool water, it will just be all around the pool basically. And whenever somebody will pee in the pool, then because of the substance that is also mixed with chlor and everything, it will just turn the water bright pink. So yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Enough of pool parties. Party pooper. Yeah, exactly. He's the party pooper. Party pooper. Let's see. That's all the questions. Yeah, that's all the questions that we can ask this guy. All right. The other one. What's your most embarrassing memory? Let's go with it.
What is your most embarrassing memory?
Man,
He's like, oh, I don't even know where to begin.
I once tried dating 2 girls in the same night, and that did not go well. I was out with this one girl, and we were having a great time, and then I drove her home. I went inside, we fooled around a little bit, that was fun. And yeah, I said goodbye, went to this bar, and I met this other chick, and she was digging me, and I was digging her, and yeah, we left. I took her home. And it's the same home, like,
Oh,
they're
great.
roommates, dude. So I'm like, okay, Joe, don't push your luck, let's go home. But no, man, I don't know. I thought, like, maybe the first girl would be sleeping, or, like, best case, who knows, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I went inside, and sure enough, the first girl
might
sitting
be
there,
lying.
like, watching TV. These girls laid it on me. They got up, they yelled at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're beautiful, both of you.
The way that he is
Yeah,
telling
that
it
sucked.
with so much
That
body,
was-
body language,
whew,
it's
not my finest hour.
almost unbelievable. Wait, he wasn't lying? Where's the lying detector? We need to vote that he is lying. I mean, either he's the luckiest guy alive, or I don't know. He must be lying. Let's see, 2 more questions. What do we have? Wait, what's your happiest memory? Why wasn't that the answer for the most happiest memory? Actually, let's hear it.
What is your
Then there must
happiest
be a better happy memory.
Watching the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I've been an Eagles fan my entire life, and I was beginning to think, see them win a Super Bowl, okay? In a game that had more offensive yards than any other game in history, even regular season games, in history. And they did it with their backup quarterback.
Okay,
It was amazing.
so that was his happiest memory? Alright, sure. What's your biggest fear? Let's go down.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is dying. I mean, duh, like, I don't
How?
want to die.
More specific.
Not in any particular way. People are like, oh, I don't want to drown or get eaten by a lion. Like, I don't care how I go. I just don't want to be dead,
I mean, it will eventually happen one way or another. It's just a matter of time, so... Yeah, that's all of the questions. Alright, back to our ladies. This one who doesn't want to work, and the other one who... Well, she's actually the smartest one of the whole bunch. Kinda want to admit it, but she is. Alright, let's see. The trolley problem. Yeah, you see, we did ask about that last time. Alright, let's just get it over
You're
with.
the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people ahead of you on the tracks who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward, you will run over and kill all 5 of them. You cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track where there is only 1 person on it. If you decide to change tracks, the 5 people on the first track will live, but the 1 person on the alternate track will be run over and die. Do you change tracks?
Well,
I change tracks and hit the 1 person. The only argument I can see for staying on the current track is that I might feel guilty if I actively made a decision that killed 1 person. But 1 person dying and me feeling guilty about it certainly isn't as bad as 5 people dying.
yeah, but here's the thing. That 1 person might have been like a very important person, like for example, like the president who can lead a nation, and those other 5 people that were laying on the track, they could be basically like nobody, like criminals or even worse. So, I mean, you can just go into this question into multiple ways. You can think about it for hours. So yeah, I think in the last part, well, in the first part actually, there was one character. It was that one homeless lady, and she was like, yeah, I'm not going to like change the tracks, because if I would change the tracks, then it will be actively committing a murder, because you did it well, consciously, that you changed the track. So yeah, the death is on you. And I'm pretty sure like another character said like, oh yeah, it was this guy. I forgot his name for a second here, but he said that he would jump in front of the trolley, like he would just waste himself instead of just making that choice. Trump or Backstreet Boys, choose. Great. All right. That was a good one. Ah, what's your most controversial or unpopular opinion? Oh no, wait. What's the most serious law you've ever broken? Actually, we have 3 questions that we can ask, so we can get some good ones.
What is the most serious law you have ever...
Oh, this better be good.
I smoked a lot of weed in states where it wasn't legal yet. I guess I've technically sold it too, which would be a more serious crime. I was never a drug dealer, but if I bought a bunch and then some of my friends bought off of me, I guess that's technically selling drugs, even if I'm not charging them a markup. In terms of legal penalties, that would be the most serious.
Huh?
The penalties for drug-related charges are ridiculous in this country.
I mean, sure, the charges, but that's the worst that you ever did? Seriously? Come on. Choose. Trump or Backstreet Boys? I mean, yeah, that's my girl. I knew you were gonna say that, Zakaria. But what do you mean choose? For me to like go faster with the questions, or do you want me to choose between Trump or Backstreet Boys? Alright, in the meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead and select our next question. What's your biggest fear?
What is your biggest fear?
Global warming and pollution. Humans are killing this planet. Nature doesn't fight back, so humans are the only ones who can save the planet, but we're the ones it needs saving from. So the Earth is pretty much doomed.
Trump or Backstreet Boys? Politician or musicians? I mean, honestly, I got absolutely nothing against Trump. And I got absolutely nothing against Backstreet Boys. I mean, I used to, well, not really specifically listen to Backstreet Boys back in the 90s, but I was hearing it in the stores, in, well, basically in public spaces quite a lot, so yeah. I mean, it's better than... actually, I'll give you one question. So on that one track, it's gonna be Justin Bieber, and on the other track, One Direction. All those 4 or 5 guys, or how many there are. Who would die? If it was up to me, then it would be pretty simple. I would go ahead and I would build a round track, so it will hit all 6 of them. How about that? Let's see, next question. Well, actually, last question for this round. And we had all of them. If you found a wallet, would you return it?
If you found a wallet, would you return it?
I would return it, but I wouldn't be doing the owner a favor by doing so. People are obsessed with money and credit cards. They think money will buy them the freedom to enjoy life. Really, the quest to acquire wealth just makes you a slave to your employer. Still, it's their wallet, so of course I'd return it.
Well, yeah, I get her point. And here's a funny, well, not really funny story, but a story that actually kind of does make sense. It's like people that are like trying to become completely independent from the government, right? But here's the thing. As long as you're earning money, as long as you have like, well, people are like even moving out there, like living in campers, like to be further away from society. They don't want nothing to do with the government by any means, whatever that they're living in. But it resolves about money, and as long as you have currency in your possession, aka money, then you're still tied to the government. It doesn't matter if you don't have an ID or like what's it called, like an address or like a pond, like a space that you live in, like a piece of land. You can be mobile for whatever reason you want, but yeah, you're still tied to a specific country and you're still paying with money. It's not like, well, actually, yeah, if you're going to trade some goods for food, for example, to survive, then I guess you'll be like completely living without money, and then you'll be a nobody. Like you can go missing and nobody will even know that you ever existed. Yeah, so Zachariah said One Direction, and I get out and get Bieber as well. Bieber is a skater. Well, skater. Is he really a skater? I'm pretty sure he's like a, well, not really a real skater, if you know what I mean. He's like, he used to skate, from what I know. But it's like, yeah, oh, skating is cool for a year or so, and then he quit after that. He doesn't do skating anymore, does he? He's better than me. I mean, he's absolutely better than me because I never did any skating in my life. But I'm a skating enthusiast. Believe it or not, I do like to watch some people skate, so yeah. No, he's really good. Is he? Alright. Let's see, so that was, yeah, that was all 5 questions. I mean, this lady, she does have a point, but yeah, still. Alright, on to the next and our last candidate. What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend? Oh, this better be good. We need to hear this one.
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
I don't have friends, but I have betrayed people.
Alright.
When I was in high school, there was a girl in my class who told me she wanted to kill herself. And I could have helped her. I didn't. And in hindsight, I do wish I had. I ran into her recently, and she's married to a loser, has 2 ugly children, and works part-time as a waitress.
Great.
If I had helped her commit suicide back then, she wouldn't be suffering like that. I offered to kill her now, but apparently it's too late. She doesn't want to die anymore.
Well, you heard it. Life is worth living. Even if it's a shitty life, then yeah, still, there's always that something that will still keep you going. Either it's that special someone, like a very good person that will like help you out, doesn't matter what their circumstances are, or like something else. There's always something good, you know? So, yeah. Well, this actually turned very dark all of a sudden. No pun intended. What's your childhood dream? Oh, well, no, wait. Actually, yeah, we can still ask 3 questions. What's your biggest fear?
What is your biggest fear?
Having to get one of those normal peasant jobs.
Welcome to Starbucks.
One where there's a boss to report to and a clock to punch. I tried it when I was younger, and it still gives me nightmares. Not the fun kind.
This lady right here would absolutely poison your McDonald's meal. I mean, yeah. What would you expect? Actually, let's go on ahead and ask all of the candidates the same questions. I mean, there's gonna be later rounds where we can still go ahead and ask all the other questions, right? So, if you found a wallet, would you return it?
If you found a wallet, would you return it?
I found a wallet once. I looked up the owner on social media. Turned out to be some racist, sexist loser who was inexplicably married. I kept the cash, And I went to return the wallet to his home when I knew he would be at work. I told his wife that he left it behind during a one-night stand.
Oh! Oh! Oh, snap! Great! Well done, well done. That is awesome. Okay, alright. I like that answer. Let's see. What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice would you give to your younger self?
I like this lady.
Don't ever join a witch coven.
What the hell is a
It'll
witch
seem
coven?
like a good idea at the time. But the people calling themselves witches these days, they aren't practicing real witchcraft. They're such a disappointment.
Oh, it's basically like a witch club or something.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon
Yeah, it's
find
like
out who will be
children
going
doing
home
some
after this
magic.
message
They're
from
buying
our
a
sponsor.
magic kit, and then all of a sudden
Today's
they
episode
do
is
some
brought to you by
tricks, right?
placebos. Are you a hypochondriac? Ask your doctor if placebos are right for you.
Placebos. Great.
Now it's time for the audience to vote.
I love all those mini ads.
Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
So, who are we sending home? Joe, Sam, Autumn, or Lilith? My choice would be Sam. Are we agreeing here? Are we sending Sam home? Joe, Autumn, or Lilith? Zachary, who do you think? I mean, look at Sam. Bye. And Joe is all the way. I'm gonna go with Sam, alright?
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Sam.
Bye bye, Sam. It was a good attempt. Thank you for joining.
You know, coming in, I knew I had a
See you next
1
time.
in 6 chance. Not a bad chance, but not perfect. So
Your choice, yeah.
I'm not surprised I have to go home.
Let's start round 4.
Here's what ails you. Ooh, round 4. We got only 3 candidates left on a very limited amount of questions. What's your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
What is your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
I love bad movies. You know, movies that are so bad that then they're good. Because it's just like so entertaining how bad they are. Like Sharknado. That
Oh
shit
yeah,
sucks,
I know exactly what he means.
It's good, you know? Or like, what does the fox say? Oh, that's a
the
song.
song.
But, you know, it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
bad that I like that song, you know? Stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Bad
that song is
things
actually
become
from
good
like
things
2014 or
for
so.
me.
It was a very catchy song, but all of a sudden everyone started to listen to that song, What Does the Fox Say? And then everyone just got onto that song and everyone all of a sudden liked it. And then I was just randomly scrolling YouTube and I saw the song once again like in 2018 or 2019 and I was so damn cringy. I was like, what the hell were we on? Like, what kind of drugs were we on when we were listening to music like that? And yeah, that's the end of that. Never listen to the song again. Yeah, next question. Pet peeve. What the hell is a pet peeve? Let's hear it. What's your most unusual pet peeve?
What's your most unusual pet peeve?
I can't stand it when people are FaceTiming or like on speakerphone around me, like as if I'm not there, stomping around with their big loud conversation, like you're holding me hostage to your conversation. I don't give a shit. Go somewhere else. What happened to, you know, phones that you had to hold up to your ear so I didn't have to listen to you? That shit drives me crazy.
Oh, okay. So basically something that you can understand. Have you ever cheated on anyone? Yeah, well, we already got the answer from that question from last time. But then again, it was more like a one-night stand, right? So, yeah. What's the most serious law you ever broken?
What is the most serious law you've ever broken?
I used to shoplift as a kid. I also used to do a ton of underage drinking. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know which one's worse, but whichever one's worse, I guess, would be my answer.
That's it? Okay, so basically this guy's a saint. I mean, shoplifting that happens so often, it's like not even funny. Well, I personally actually have never done that myself. So, oh, actually, hold on, let me think. No, I did it once actually as a kid. Yeah, I did it once as well. Confession time. Wow, all of a sudden I remember it. You know, that was back in older country, and yeah, that was. How old was I back then? Maybe like 9 years old or so. And that was with friends. Holy shit! Yeah, I remember that all of a sudden. I did shoplifting once myself. And that was okay. So story time. I'm gonna tell you a story of how this Grand Theft Auto character became the Grand Theft Auto character for shoplifting. So I was out after school and we went to a store. And mind you, in the old country, I was living in like a smaller town. So it's a small enough town that everyone basically knows each other. And then yeah, so there was two classmates of mine, right? And they were also shoplifting, and they told me how easy it was. And there's like no security cameras, like all the security cameras, that the like red flashing light is just there to like scare people off. But actually, those cameras, they're fake cameras that like they're not even recording, and that was the case. They were just fake cameras. So the only cameras that there were is the only ones that were like at the entrance, right? You know, like there's those shops. When you enter the shop, it will show you like your reflection on the screen whenever you're like entering or leaving the shop. So it's like, hey, whatever you're gonna do, we're watching you. And that was the only camera in the whole store. So we went back in the like in the furthest aisles where there's like cheese and some milk produce and whatnot, and some yogurts and well stuff like that. And some of them start to grab like candy bars, and I was like, oh, so everyone's grabbing everything. All right, that's fine. So I had this like small little thing that I came up with, like a small little plan of mine. I would get something as well, and I would pretend like this is the only item that I'm buying. But further up ahead there were some candies, right? So yeah, everyone's favorite candy as a child. So I just grabbed one single piece of candy and I just put it in my pocket. And then yeah, when we were approaching the cashier, two of my friends, they just went right through. They were like, yeah, we just came with this guy, he's with us. We were just like window shopping. We didn't buy anything, and by the way, we didn't have no money. So the cashier said, all right, that's fine, just go on ahead. And then all of a sudden, when it was my turn to approach the cashier, all of a sudden there was like a heavy hand on my shoulder. So I turned around and it was a security guard. I was like, holy shit. So I just pretty much crapped my pants at this point. But of course, as a 9-year-old or 8-year-old, I don't even remember how old I was back then. But yeah, I pretty much I was doomed. I didn't know what to think. And he just basically said to me like, is this the only thing that you're buying? And I said, yes. And he said, now don't lie to me. So he reached into my pocket, he turned it inside down, and it was empty. And then he went to my right pocket, and the right pocket there was that one piece of candy that I actually took with me. And I just made up some shitty story that, oh, I completely forgot to like put it in a basket, and I completely forgot to put it on like at the cash register. Well, the cash register, when you're supposed to approach the clerk, like there is like this rolling well, what's it called, the rolling plate, the rolling band, basically, right? Well, you know what I mean. And yeah, and he said, well, you should have done so before before paying. But yeah, I completely forgot the whole process. I already paid for that one candy bar that I bought, so yeah. And basically he just took the piece of candy and he just let me go. And I was, ooh, that was close. And my friends, they were just patiently waiting for me outside. And so I just went out to the store and I was like, okay, I'm out. Nothing happened. Is it that serious? I mean, no, nothing happened. The cops weren't called in. I mean, of course, it's nothing serious. It's just a piece of candy. What would possibly would have happened? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're dealing with like some petty shoplifting like that from kids all the time in this store, right? But yeah, I just went out of the store. My mind went completely blank. I was like freaking out, and yeah, the first time that this ever happened to me, and well, first and last time. I've never done that afterwards, and all of a sudden I see my friends are gone, and all of a sudden from behind the building of the corner of the building, I hear them like, yelling at me like, "Art, get over here!" Oh, I mean, so I see my friends. I just walk over up to them, and they ask me, "What happened? We saw the security guard approach you, and then you were staying like 5 minutes at the cash register." And I was like, "Yeah, so." The security guard, he just basically um, he like turned my pockets inside out, but he didn't find nothing. I was too ashamed to like tell them that I was yeah, that I was caught pretty much. So I said like, yeah, as you can see, I made it out alive. I wasn't held captive there. He was just a bit suspicious that I might have taken something, but yeah, it's all good. And then worst thing happened. Apparently word spread around pretty quickly. And by the time that I got home, my mom was already home and she said, so I was in the store today and you mind explaining me why I had to pay a fine of 20 euro? And back then 20 euro was quite a lot. It was actually a different currency, but let's just keep it euro or dollars or whatever. But yeah, I was like, yeah, no idea. Has grocery shopping gone this expensive? I didn't know. And she would like sit me down and she said, explain to me everything exactly, everything into smallest details, what you did after school. And then it hit me. Oh shit. So they, well, because, like I said, it's a smaller town, everyone knows each other. And yeah, so they found my mother's phone number. They called her. She had to come into the store, pay the fine, or yeah, I had to face the consequences. And yeah, well, the consequences that I had to face was pretty much I would be banned from the store. And yeah, I got grounded. I didn't get no pocket money anymore for like a couple of months at least, from what I remember. And worst thing of all, every single time that we were actually just even approaching, remotely approaching that one store, I would just like go completely around, and I would like completely avoid the store for at least couple of months. I was just too ashamed to show my face there. So yeah, that's a little story of Art shoplifting for his first time when he was little. That's the end. That's the truth. It's out. So yeah, basically everyone is guilty of shoplifting or like petty crimes. There is no holy child that's never done anything wrong in their life. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the questions. Ooh, that was wow! All of a sudden, memory rush for me. I completely forgot that that even happened. Wow. If you could have any superpowers, what would you choose?
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Being able to shoplift without being
Immortality.
detected.
I've heard nerds
Immortality.
say like, "Oh, that would be a curse" or something like that, but I don't believe that. That's BS. If I could choose anything, yeah, I'd live forever for sure.
I mean, living forever, but then again, your body gets very old, and at like age of 120, it will like pretty much deteriorate and destroy itself. But then you'll be still living forever up until the point that your whole body will just basically destroy itself, and then you'll be able to feel every single inch of the body in pain. So yeah, that's a pretty painful way to die. Immortality. I mean, if your body doesn't get any younger, then yeah. Immortality sounds pretty bad, to be honest. Okay, let's see. We got a couple more questions left. What's your most unusual talent? Let's hear
What's
it.
your most unusual talent?
I can change my own oil. I could also fix a flat. You know, people used to know how to do that stuff. That was like common knowledge. But nowadays, no one knows how to do jack shit. Everyone's like relying on others or the internet.
Oh
or
yeah, true.
just people don't know how to do stuff. No one can do common guy stuff or girl stuff, whatever, anymore. I don't know. Everyone's so sheltered.
I mean, yeah, I completely understand where he's coming from with that. And yeah, it used to be common knowledge how to like fix a flat tire, how to pop the hood and check the engine and the oil gauge and what else? Yeah, so basically like just basically all the fluids whenever you need to change something. That was common knowledge back in the day, and now currently we've got like those car services, right? And they're basically like included into like what's it called again? Damn it, I forgot it. Wow. It's like a car, well, not really car warranty, but it's like once a year that you pay. It's like I just can't remember it for a second here. But yeah, basically it's like a reassurance if something will happen to your car. You'll be able to like call in a special service, and it will they will come pick you up. They will get your car as well, get you to what the closest by repair shop. They will fix your car, or if it's a bigger issue, then they will give you a replacement car. That's pretty much what it is. So yeah, it's like one of those yearly, well, warranties basically. Anyways, but yeah, this guy's right about that. People used to do all sorts of things like that. It was just like he said, common knowledge. But yeah, nowadays people are like focusing on other stuff. They're like, oh, so this will happen in that situation. We can just call a service, and then it will just be taken care of. That's as easy as that. But here's the situation: if you're like in the middle of nowhere, right, and your cell phone runs out of battery, then what then? How are you going to change the flat tire? Yes, those were all 5 questions, right? Yeah, 5 questions. Now, this lady, what was her name again? Autumn? What would you do with the money? What's your most embarrassing memory? Hold on, is it just me, or does this one has more questions? Oh yeah, right. We haven't asked all the 5 questions to this character yet. What would you do with the money? $1 million.
What would you do with the money?
Pharmaceutical companies test drugs on puppies and other small animals all the time, then just abandon them when they're done. Someone needs to do something
Are they
about
really
it.
testing out things on
If I win,
puppies?
I plan on using the money to open a rehab center so I can help those poor puppies recover and live normal lives.
Oh, that's sweet. That is actually sweet. But yeah, I mean, testing things on puppies. I mean, there's a. I previously did hear that some medicine were being tested out on pigs, because apparently some pigs and monkeys, they share somewhat similar DNA as humans. So for better like test results and of course side effects, like specific serums or treatments have been given to pigs to see how they would react to that. And yeah, but here's the thing: if there's like any criminals that have been like they've done some serious crimes, right? And if they're like serving life in prison, like the prison sentence is so large, so huge, that they won't be able to like see the daylight. The prison is their home for the rest of their life, is what I'm trying to say. Why don't they test on prisoners like that? I mean, at least they will be able to do something useful with their life then. Just test out some sort of a serum or medication or whatever. just become a test subject. I mean, if they're bound to die in the prison walls anyway, then yeah, why not? Anyways, let's see, next question. What's your most unusual talent?
What is your most unusual talent?
I know how to survive in the wilderness. I can tell what's edible. I can build a shelter and a fire. I can clean water so it's safe to drink. Just survival skills in general.
All right.
I don't like being dependent on money or on society, so I learned how to get by.
Save the cows, smoke more grass, girl. Great. Ooh. What's your happiest memory?
What's your happiest memory?
That's easy.
Oh, she knows it.
First time I
She
went to
knows what the
Burning Man.
happiest memories.
It wasn't
She
that
went to
I
the Burning Man.
loved
Oh,
Burning
great.
Man. Back then, I worked myself to death at my office job. I only averaged maybe 50 hours per week, but the stress, it stayed with me all the time, so it felt
Yeah,
like
office
100.
in US is pretty brutal.
Burning Man was the very first vacation I ever took. Once I got to feel what it was like to be free from work for multiple days straight, it changed my life.
I
stopped
can
working a
definitely
corporate
believe that.
job, stopped obsessing over money, and now I'm finally happy.
I've seen actually some of the videos of Burning Man from last year and a couple of years before that. It's a pretty interesting festival. I mean, I personally wouldn't go to one of those Burning Man festivals, but from last year, it was pretty awesome. The only downside is, well, it's pretty much in the middle of a desert, and yeah, there is not all the many places where you can shower or basically, well, basic hygiene is a huge issue there, I guess. I mean, yeah, it takes a lot to, well, basically, what I'm trying to say is that it costs a lot to get to Burning Man. It's very expensive, and it takes a lot to get over there with all of the necessities, like, for example, huge amount of like drinking water, water to take a shower. But overall, like, if you're seeing the whole aesthetic about the Burning Man and everything that they've been building, it's pretty impressive. Like, I've seen towers where there's like car wrecks from Mad Max and everything, like piled up on everything, and on top of that there's like a booth where they're like playing music from that. That's just pretty impressive. And then I've seen well, some people dance in sandstorm, but they were like wearing goggles, like protective gear, and well, what's it called, like some cowls over their heads and faces, and well, yeah, it was pretty interesting. Alright, two last questions. What's your most unusual pet peeve? Let's hear it.
What's your most unusual pet peeve?
It drives me crazy when people throw away plastic bottles with the cap screwed on. I understand that people are busy and can't always do much to help the environment, but all they have to do in this case is not screw the cap back on. If they put the cap on, then there's air trapped in the bottle and it won't flatten out in the landfill. Just leave the cap off and the bottle will get crushed and it will take up way less space. It literally takes less than no effort.
Yeah, I also hate that. I mean, we used to have bottles where all the well, plastic bottles where all the plastic caps, you will be able to like screw them completely off. And nowadays, every single manufacturing bottle, they are like attaching those plastic caps onto the bottle, to the point when if you're pouring like some liquid out of the bottle into your glass, it will have like pour into the cap and then it will spill everywhere, and it's just ridiculous. And then later on, if you're like trying to drink from the bottle, so it won't get in your mouth and everything, or like scratch the side of your face, and yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I pretty much understand her. And yeah. I mean, she's the one who is like fighting for the environment and everything, so if she's against it, then yeah, I'm completely with her on that one. Okay, we got only a couple more questions left. Describe a typical day in your life. How about that?
Describe a typical day in your life.
It's not really a
I live in
question,
my
but
van
hey,
now,
let's hear
by
it.
choice. When I wake up, I usually drive to the gym so I can work out and get a shower. After breakfast, I usually work one of those food delivery apps for about an hour. I can't stand a normal job, but I can handle those apps in small doses. Once I'm done, I relax for the rest of the day. I go to the beach a lot. Every day feels like a day off because I don't have a regular day job or a boss to deal with. It's pretty great, to be honest.
Alright, so she's just enjoying her life. Okay, last 5 questions for our last candidate. What's your most embarrassing memory? Actually, hold on, what's your most unusual pet peeve?
What's your most unusual pet peeve?
I hate it when people whistle. Or sing. Or hum.
Well, whistling can be sometimes annoying.
Or smile. Or breathe.
Oh, okay, so she hates everything about everyone. Okay. So she's only happy when your heart stops beating, basically. Okay, let's see. What's the dumbest thing you ever did? Let me
What
guess.
is the
She summoned a
dumbest
demon or
thing
something?
you ever did?
This rich couple used to pay me to sit for their dog.
Okay, I like where this is
And one
going.
day he died on my watch. So I buried him in the backyard. Replaced him with a look-alike from the local pet shop.
Oh,
The couple comes home. The new dog won't stop barking, yapping, nipping. I said he was acting normal during my watch. I got paid and I left. Anyway, he ends up biting one of them.
great.
So they put him outside, where he digs up the original, who turns out
Oh
as
no.
dead as I thought. So
He digs up the original one.
they decided they needed to call me, text me dozens of times, asking me why I would bury their dog alive and try and replace him with an evil clone.
It was alive?
I figured there was no way explaining my way out of that one, so I didn't reply.
Okay, great. I thought the dog died. I mean, maybe the dog just took a nap or something. So she just decided to bury the dog instead. All right. What's your biggest regret?
What is your biggest regret?
That's easy. There are many people I've encountered in my life who I didn't kill, even though they clearly deserved it. And now it's too late. I wouldn't even know where to find them.
Oh, well, you can always find some new victims. Ooh, 2 more questions. Who would you want to be stranded on an island with?
If you were going to be stranded on an island with one person of your choosing, who would it be?
Oh, she's
Jeff
smiling.
Tucker. He's an old boss of mine. I really hate him. If he were trapped on that island with me, I could torture him endlessly, and he'd have no chance to escape. I could be entertained for years that way.
Oh, great. I like the way she thinks. And then again, if something would happen, nobody would even know. Okay, one more last question. Okay. What's your most embarrassing memory?
What is your most embarrassing memory?
When I was 6 years old, my parents forced me to attend the birthday
Forced
party
you to attend your
of
own
the girl who
birthday?
lived next door. They fed me copious amounts of candies, cakes, ice cream. I got caught up in such a sugar rush, I actually participated in their games.
Okay.
The worst part was, afterwards, many of these peasants actually thought we were friends.
Great.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home.
Oh, look at
after
that.
this
She
message from
befriended
our
somebody.
sponsor.
Even
Today's
though it was
episode is
without
brought
her
to you
own
by the letter
knowledge,
K.
but hey.
Now it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
Very easy, Joe.
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Joe.
That's fine. My ex and her loser boyfriend would probably get the money anyways because our legal system sucks. So, whatever.
Alright, well,
It's now time for our final round.
reading is fundamental. Cool, trophy. We got, last 5 questions actually. For both of the candidates. So what's your most embarrassing memory?
What is your most embarrassing memory?
I came across a small group of people protesting outside a chemical plant, and I got excited and I called all of my friends, and we all joined in to show our support. Chemical plants are always terrible for the environment, so we were more than happy to be a part of the protest. But as it turned out, it wasn't a protest at all. It was a picket line. The plant was temporarily shut down while all the workers were on strike, and all of us extra people showing up helped convince management to give in to their demands and end the strike. We were
Great.
trying to get the place shut down, but instead we got them to reopen it earlier than they otherwise would have. So, yeah.
Great. Well, that's an unexpected event once again. I mean, I'm pretty sure she did mention one of the stories earlier where she actually pretty much helped what was not supposed to be achieved. So there was, if I remember correctly, she said something about she heard from one of the protesters as well that she was working with, or like the organization that she was working with, is that there is there was one of the what's it called, one of the events going on where a small part of forest was going to be chopped down. So what they did was just basically take some chains, walk over to that part of the forest, and they just completely like chained them up like against the trees, and then they just waited there patiently for about a week, I believe she said. And turns out that the forest that was being chopped down was actually on the other side of the forest. So they were feeling pretty dumb after that once they learned the facts, and of course the fact that they also had to be like rescued afterwards, because well, those chains, they were pretty tied up, and none of them had anything to like loosen the chains. So there was supposed to be another rescue operation to get them loose from the chains from the trees, and in the end they just couldn't do so. So those trees that they were actually chained onto, they also had to be chopped down. So there's that. And now she's telling about the whole chemical plant. So yeah, that's a double blunder if you're asking me. Well done, well done. I mean, of course, it could have been way worse. Alright, next question. Actually, well, we're just gonna follow the row, because well, there's like only last 4 questions that we can ask anyway. What's your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
Owning pets is wrong and should be illegal. If your dog or cat isn't free to come and go as they please, they're not your pet, they're your prisoner.
But if you create a certain attachment to your dog, and your dog really likes you back, and it likes to stay around you because you give them attention, you care for them, you give them fresh food and fresh food, dry food, fresh foods. You give them shelter, you give them warmth, you give them water, you give them everything that they need, and you play with them. Then, of course, obviously, the pet, it will it will grow attached to you as well, right? So it will want to be around you. Well, it is actually different with some animals, of course, because certain cats, for example, they wouldn't like that. All they need is just some food and basically everything else they don't need from you anyways. They're pretty much around for food, basically, from, well, my understanding. But for dogs it's different. But for example, some people, they have lizards or dragons. Dogs need humans, yeah, exactly. Here's the thing that I heard a couple of weeks ago, and that actually really made me think about something. For people say that dogs are humans' best friend, right? But what people do not realize is that for dogs, this human is their best friend for life. Like for humans, the dog is their best friend for a portion of their life, for like maybe 10, 15 years, maybe a bit longer, maybe shorter, who knows. But for the dog, you are the best friend for the rest of their life. But nobody is even thinking about it that way. Which is kinda, yeah, really unfortunate. And especially if you're seeing how some people are treating their animals, their dogs, that's really sometimes just heartbreaking. And I'm of course one of those people that are like, if they're watching a movie and in that movie like 20 people can get killed and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when a dog gets hurt, not even that, just hurt, I immediately start to feel bad for the dog. I mean, dogs are just simply amazing. We don't deserve dogs. Well, some people actually don't deserve dogs at all. But yeah, dogs are wonderful. Okay, so what's your favorite holiday?
What is your favorite holiday?
Arbor Day. I
Arbor
like
Day?
that there's a holiday that's for trees and not humans. I always try to spend that day hanging out in the woods, away from people.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of Arbor Day before in my life. Okay, last two questions, I believe. Yeah, last two questions. What were you like as a child?
What were you like as a child?
I was a straight A student. I had perfect attendance and all that.
Okay, a little
It
bit
wasn't
hard to
until I
believe.
became an adult that I realized how conforming to society's standards was actually a bad thing. If I could go back and do it again, I'd focus more on enjoying my childhood.
Okay, valid. And what's your childhood dream?
What was your childhood dream?
To be a corporate executive, live in a big house, and make a six-figure salary. When I got older, I realized that a job
Just
like
like anybody
that
else,
would
basically.
take up almost all my free time, and then taking care of a house of that size would take up the little bit of time I had left. Now that dream sounds like a nightmare to me.
Well, yeah, if you're... Well, actually, she's right. I mean, you don't just become a CEO over days, just, yeah. There's always something tied to it. But yeah, valid answer. I do appreciate the honest opinion there. And, well, it was an honest opinion because she didn't lie. And all of them are attached to a lying detector. And as far as their playthrough goes right now, we've only seen like one person who was actually confronted with lying. And that person is already gone. Nobody else was caught lying. What's your most controversial or unpopular opinion from our last candidate?
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
I believe that we should bring back public execution.
Oh, interesting.
We're already executing people in 27 states. Why not sell tickets? I know some people
Send her home.
really hate the death penalty, but they should love this idea. Executing these prisoners in private only helps the masses not to think about it.
Autumn, yeah.
Making it public will bring attention to it. And it gives the rest of us something to do.
I'm gonna be honest with you here, Zakaria. From the second question that I asked Lilith here, I knew that she was gonna be the winner for me. I mean, the way that she thinks, I like that. I mean, she's like pretty much down to earth someone. All the other ones, they're like complete lunatics. Well, more or less. What's your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
What's your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
I like to turn off movies at the sad part, right before the end, and say that's the ending.
Oh, that's brutal.
It works for every movie. For example, in action movies, where it looks like the hero is lost. In romantic comedies, where the couple breaks up, and it looks like they'll never see each other again. You
Great.
get a much more satisfying ending that way. You should try it.
I have actually never thought of doing that. I mean, the thought of not even haven't even crossed my mind once. To be able to like just see any movie this way. And then again, here's the idea. Do exactly as she said. Watch a movie, but then abruptly stop it and then call it the end. And then rewatch the movie again, and then it will be like the same movie but part 2. Essentially, you will have like part 1 and part 2, basically like 2 movies. Interesting. I should definitely try that. Have you ever cheated on anyone?
Have you cheated on anyone?
She's funny. Yeah, she is.
Of course I have. I don't answer to men. If I choose to hook up with a guy, he should be eternally grateful. I certainly don't have any obligations to him afterwards.
Alright. What were you like as a child?
What were you like as a child?
That was a long time ago.
I had a big bullying problem when I was in school. I would speak to guidance counselors, the principal about it. But every time we thought it was under control, something would happen.
Yeah, none of them were doing shit. Let's be
Like
honest.
one day, a group of children decided to hold a spelling bee at lunch. For fun. What was I supposed to do? Not beat any of them up.
Fair enough. I mean, I probably would have done the same. And then the last question, what was your childhood dream?
What
To
was
beat
your
up all the
childhood
children.
dream?
I've always wanted to be possessed by a demon. That's still my dream. Maybe one day I can make it happen.
One day.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by
Vegas Tales.
the full-motion video game from the makers of Truth. A wealthy resort owner is dying and needs you to help decide who should inherit his estate.
Oh, cool. Pretty
You'll
much
be interviewing some
another
over-the-top
advertisement in the
characters,
game
helping
for
choose
the different
who will
game
become
of the same
extremely
developers.
wealthy. Be careful, as there may be more to some than meets the eye. Vegas Tales is available now on your favorite gaming platform.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Now it's time for the audience
I mean, of
to
course.
vote. Please enter
Why
the
wouldn't you
selection
include
of the
the
contestant
advertisement
you
for your
think
other
should be
game in
going
one of
home.
your other products? Who are we sending home? Autumn or Lilith? Well, we pretty much already know the answer. And Zachary also voted for us. And yeah, Autumn, sorry, but you're going home.
The votes are in.
Vegas Tales.
The $1 million prize is going to Lilith.
Lilith. Excellent.
Maybe there's hope for this audience yet. May
Yes.
Cthulhu's judgment upon you be swift.
She accepted us in her inner circle. Lilith used the prize money to start her own cult, just as she said she would. She didn't have many followers. Well, count me in. But she did manage to recruit a few like-minded women who shared her dream of summoning Chulu and bringing about the end of the days. We've been meeting for years. They've been meeting for years. They never did manage to summon the Chulu. But they did learn that the most powerful magic at all, friendship. Who wrote this shit? Friendship. Well, at least, hey. Oh wow. It's not about if they will be able to summon Chulu, but yeah. It's about the people that they meet along the way. She befriended like-minded people, that's what counts. And hopefully there is still some money left of that 1 million prize money that she had. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't take all that much to like organize a cult. I mean, yeah, of course she can go crazy with all the money, but yeah, that was good. I did not actually expect this at the end. They did learn the most powerful magic of all, friendship. Her and friendship? That's like oil and water. They'll be separated. Ooh, that was great. Well, I'm glad this is over. Yeah. So hold on. Who is she? Lilith. Audrey Genevieve Holland. All right. I don't know who she is, but yeah. Director Jason Price. Okay, so yeah, basically this was one of those interactive movie games, and yeah, you just saw pretty much all the staff and who was involved into that. So all they did is just read out the questions and just well answer them while recording. That's as easy as that. I mean, obviously they found some interesting characters. Let's just put it that way, or characters that were supposed to play. And yeah, most of them were pretty good. I liked them. Anyways, so this is gonna be it. Now, of course, for those of you that actually want to get the platinum trophy, all you need to do is just replay the game 5 more times after the first attempt, and basically all you need to do is just well, let all of the characters win once. That's pretty much it. But yeah, if you want, of course, we can play this game once again, but I really don't see the point. And besides, I think this is the perfect ending for this game. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and we'll be focusing on other games later on. So yeah, I'm gonna be ending the live stream here. And before I'm gonna do that, I would like to thank you all for staying with me here on Liberty After Work. I hope that you enjoyed the live stream just as much as I did. And once again, my apologies for streaming very late this time around, because well, I kind of got busy with other stuff and I got home very late, and yeah, that's unfortunately all the time that I had. So tomorrow I will see you next stream. Yeah, see you next stream, Zachariah. Thank you for joining. Tomorrow we'll be playing. Let's see. Either we're gonna play some more Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered or Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I'm thinking Grand Theft Auto Vice City, well, because it was originally planned to be for tonight. But yeah, like I said, I just got home very late, and yeah, I just didn't see the point of like playing for 1 hour, because if you're gonna play Grand Theft Auto, then yeah, we're gonna enjoy it, and I definitely want to play a bit longer than 1 hour. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Take care.